6. Colorful art design. Ah! Okay, let's talk again about Sonic Colors.
Oh, you're still not done bitching about this game!
Never! I have some issues with the animation.
Oh, you have problems with its animations. Your stupid little animations are supposed to be superior then, huh?
Ah! Don't ever show those again. Of course not. No, it's more that there's less happening. Like Sonic Adventure did it better when...
Oh yeah. Sonic Adventure has amazing cutscenes. Look at Sonic's freaky vampire face.
Okay, shut up. In 1998, this was very impressive, since the mouths are moving at all. But I'm not talking about the graphics or the actual animation. Those are great in Sonic Colors. There's great textures, nice fluid movements, lots of personality, it's good stuff.
Yet, you hate it.
The art design, okay? I want to talk about the art design. Okay, let's start with an example, okay? I explained before that Sonic Colors story is nothing but characters just standing there talking. And I hate the jokes.
Oh, come on. It's just silly fun. Like in that old cartoon show.
No! It's nothing like that old cartoon show. Sonic Colors seems constantly compared to the old cartoon show for some reason. Does it deserve this? Let's take a look at a joke from the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog show. Sonic acts like he's some kind of circus chief and dresses up like one, tricking robots to go inside a tent, who then fall to their gruesome deaths. So notice that we have A. A dumb joke, puns about a circus and whatnot. B. Wacky visuals. We got Sonic all dressed up, the circus stand, it's visually interesting, I guess. Then notice C. There's a lot of energy. Sonic bounces around, there's extreme face expressions and reactions. And finally, D. It's mostly a slapstick piece. Sonic acts crazy and then the robots fall off a cliff or get crushed or explode or whatever. It's crazy Looney Tunes stuff.
Great stuff.
Ah yeah. But now, let's look at the amazingness of Sonic Colors jokes.
Hey! Did somebody here order a clobbering? Are you sure? It says somebody ordered an extra large clobbering topped with everything. Okay. Tell you what, I can't take this thing back, so I'll give you an extra large clobbering for nothing. Hope you're hungry.
Is this like the old show at all? Wacky visuals? Energy? Slapstick? No. No energy. Sonic just stands there. He doesn't dress up. He doesn't have a fake pizza that punched the robot in the face with a hidden hammer. No slapstick. The damn robot doesn't even react at all. It's just Sonic standing there making a dozen pizza puns while the robot just stands there. This is boring. Calling Sonic Colors a spiritual successor to the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog show is like having a Bugs Bunny cartoon with Bugs just standing there. You're going, hey, pizza, pie, donuts, food is funny, isn't it? Food. And then Elmer Fudd just stands there and then they start punching each other. That's not a Looney Tunes cartoon. Sonic Colors is not Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Okay, so it's not a perfect fit. At least I appreciate they try to channel the same general atmosphere. Sonic and Tails versus Eggman and a lot of silliness. It's a breath of fresh air after all the drama from the past. One of the reasons why Colors is linked to the old show is that Orbot and Cubot resemble Scratch and Grounder, or Deco and Boko from Sonic X.
True. Nevertheless, the type of humor is different. Cubot and Orbot go for extremely obvious and simplistic satire rather than obvious and simple slapstick. Although even they have some slapstick moments. When the Eggman hits a chair that bounces around and knocks into Cubot, that's funny. Except they ruin it by making the robot be okay. And slapstick victims are supposed to get hurt. That's the point.
They're just making the jokes more mature, more subtle.
I think the problem with Sonic Colors, and actually with most recent Sonic games including Generations, is that there's no visual director or proper storyboards. Or real boring ones. I already explained that Sonic Colors is overwritten. It really feels like a writer's story. Lots of talking, no visuals. I am a horrible, pathetic, bad, crappy animator, and therefore I notice things. Like, I notice when animators are bored out of their minds. As a bad animator, I know the worst thing to animate is talking scenes, where nothing's happening. This is why I usually try to do something with the characters in my recent work. While they talk, they play a board game or playing around with a drink, pacing up and down, things. When I have a partner drawing the character models, the animation is more stiff. It's a lot more challenging to animate this, or at least make it look interesting. That's why in Evil Dog movies I prefer to have a lot more action scenes. Same thing happens in the official games. Sonic Adventures animations are limited. That's why there's always something happening. Characters confront each other, there's chases, discoveries. And when they talk, it's in an interesting location, with actual sets, like the prison scene here, that gives the animators a chance to play with the camera and make characters interact with things. Look at Sonic Colors cutscenes and you'll notice a staple of bored animators. Characters are acting out what they say.
I'm totally calling him McNose Hair.
Nose hair.
Yo, quit wasting my batteries over here!
Battery.
Running around the park.
Running.
Well, it makes the animation look more interesting, so what's the problem?
It reminds me of this.
A whole month gone, and still no word.
Sad.
Ah! What? Seriously?
As I said, animating minutes of footage of characters just standing in a room talking is the most boring thing ever. The poor animator here had to draw hundreds of drawings of Zelda just flapping her lips. So to make things interesting, he starts making her movements more exaggerated. So when she's sad, he draws her really sad for a few frames. Makes it more interesting for him or her to draw, but it looks stupid in the finished animation. This is why most animations use storyboards and art directors, to make sure there's always something visually interesting happening, so lousy animators like me don't get bored and start screwing around. Which happens if all you get to animate months and months on end is just characters boring talking in a boring location about boring things.
How has that have improved colors?
Okay, let's take this boring scene. Now let's make this more interesting. Without changing any dialogue, all I do is add a Dodgems arena here. Boom! Now, instead of just standing around like an idiot, Sonic, while listening to Tails prattle on about a boring plot, he jumps into a Dodgem and he starts screwing around, knocking into other cars, while Tails looks around irritated. See, this A gives the animator something to do. He or she can play with the Dodgems. B, it reminds us, the audience, that hey, wasn't this adventure supposed to be in a theme park? You know, when I think of a theme park, I think of rides, restaurants, parks, things.
Queuing lines.
Yeah, but not an empty platform floating in space. This is the most boring theme park ever. I mean, look at Sonic Adventure. There's like roller coasters and then bowling and haunted house thing. Well, in Sonic Colors, well, in the levels it looks pretty cool, I guess. A little too abstract, but in the cutscenes it's so freaking boring. Is this a theme park? Adding a little Dodgems arena makes it a little more lively.
Well, most scenes take place close to the generations.
You mean generators?
Obviously there won't be no theme park rides there.
Another improvement over the scene is that now it becomes more of a little character piece for Sonic and Tails. Sonic carelessly playing around with Eggman's ride showcases he is cocky and sure and bored at the moment. Tails can look annoyed at him since he's more careful and serious. Makes them play off of each other and behave more like friends. Sonic and Co are always directly talking about the plot and have very little fun interactivities with each other. To me, they never feel like friends, but more like police officers.
Well, they do make a few jokes together in Sonic Colors, you know, like how a couple of mates would make a few jokes with each other.
Yeah, true. I have to give Sonic Colors a little credit for being one of the very rare Sonic games to actually attempt a little humanity. But it's presented in such a boring way. There's a joke about Tails complaining about a sushi. This would have been more interesting if we could see it in action, while they were actually sitting in a sushi restaurant instead of just talking about it. This is a theme park, use it! Instead all the scenes are set up like it's a cheap sitcom or something. I mean, animation is great, it looks fantastic, but it's used in such a boring and cheap manner. And now, let's look at my favorite scene from this game yet again.
Yeah, Eggman could be anywhere.
Indeed I could, but I'm right here behind this generator. That's it, Hedgehog. Stand there and be a nice little target.
Tails, is that you humming?
Sonic, look out!
So, let me get it straight. This is mostly an empty blue location. There's a generator with a bright, blinking light attracting attention here. Sonic and Tails walk into this direction. Eggman is in a brightly red suit, completely surrounded by a blue environment. Your attention is completely absorbed by the bright red colors. Also, Eggman makes a loud humming noise.
Tails, is that you humming?
So Sonic looks directly at the generator where Eggman's at, hears the loud humming noise and looks backwards? What? Huh? Why? Do you lack depth perception? Are you deaf? So this is yet another reason why you would need a visual director.
Okay, you're being a little nitpicky now. Besides, you're always complaining that Sonic doesn't have weak moments.
Weak moments, yes, not being a complete idiot. This is why the Whisk Machine remains my favorite color sequence. It's the only one visually thought out, using the camera and the set for drama. It reminds me of another complaint I have about...
Are you not done bashing colours now?
Never! Well, okay, for now. Guess I'll leave Sonic Colors alone for the next couple chapters. But we'll be back!